Yeah, it's a fungus.
Definitely yeast is a fungus.
Howdy, everybody.
However, yeast is part of a subkingdom, Dicaria.
So in case you couldn't tell, Nick went down the rabbit hole.
It's like definitely fungus.
Absolutely.
In case you couldn't tell, Nick went down way down the rabbit hole. He's I don't know. Him and Josh got on this whole animal king.
What is it? All goes.
It's going to be important later in the show.
It all boils down.
Is it really going to be important later?
What is yeast?
Is it really going to be important later?
The answer was,
I thought a much more important question that Josh had for you was look up charcoal. What is charcoal? You completely ignored that.
Rob thinks charcoal is a rock.
No. I know it's
carbon.
But it was the whole joke of he said the fifth kingdom was Monera, and I was like,
yes, Monera.
Minerals, so it's rock.
Monads, right?
The
Monads.
They're prokaryotic. Do you guys remember what that means? Versus eukaryotic? Like
Prokaryote and eukaryote means either somebody I pay carries it or I carry it.
He thought we were talking about the proletariats or the eukaryotes.
Aren't
eukaryotes?
You carry lots. Those are the Care Bears with the big hearts on them.
Yeah, what is it like?
Hey, welcome to What Are You Drinking Now tonight here at the office. We are
down to the base of
way down different rabbit holes tonight, but yeah, hey, guess what? I'm the only one drunk so far.
I'll keep working on that. We'll see. World Series tonight. Not tuning in. Rob says I'm not allowed to watch.
That's right. No watching for Nikki.
Up over my head because I can't see it.
So what am I drinking now? For my palate cleanser, I am having a Thrilla in Vanilla from Double Barley.
Oh, I'm sipping on something, but there's a palate cleanser up here for me.
My palate cleanser is the Mel Electrum Honey Amber Ale from Blowing Rock Brewing
That was in tandem. That was a good one. We should have recorded that on the sound effect board.
So let's see who's... Goose has joined, David Putnam, Heather Whiting-Low. Oh, hey, I remember seeing Heather this weekend. Eleanor, saw Eleanor this weekend.
Hey, I'm also drinking palate cleanser.
Doesn't matter. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't think you cared.
What do you got over there, bud?
It's perhaps some of those guests care. I'm not sure if they do. It's a New England style IPA called the India Pale Ale Citra Lush. It's part of the rotating series from Epic Brewing. This may come up handy later. The hazometer has this thing off the 10-point scale. It puts the juiciness factor right at 10 point, and then the dankness is only midway. Looks like maybe it scored a 3 or a 4 for dankness.
I'm actually trying to...
I'm just always I'm completely over hazy IPAs now. Like, I think I'm officially completely over them.
If I'm not yet, I will be by the end of the
That's
night.
an interesting follow-up. The
Trilla and vanilla.
And with the...
It smells like a cardboard box.
Edmund's Oats.
Crushing
Spirits.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say Saturday...
had oranges on it.
Saturday, Brittany was hanging out, and... I gave her a sample of this No Soul to Sell. She was drinking a sour.
Yeah.
And she was very keen to remind me that those two don't go well together.
Yeah.
Oh.
They do not.
Apparently, it was like really bad. So, my apologies for that. I totally did not think about that one all the way through.
The unintended...
Are you sure you're not watching game?
Who says that?
Because my metrics are like in the...
Are you on the right internet this time?
I'll check. That is a good... That is a good...
No, I was looking up... This guy.
I am not on the 5G. Okay, guys, I'm going to be switching over real quick.
Can I turn the game on when you get on 5G?
No.
Touche. That
Too soon?
Yeah,
With that comes that's the left hook out of nowhere, man. Ooh.
Didn't see it coming. You should have. It's Monday. We're coming up swinging at the office.
All right, looks like we're back on the correct internet. We're catching up the frame rate, and I think we're good to go. Other than Nick watching the baseball game,
He's not watching the baseball game. I can clearly see he's not.
as he points, as he angles his phone away from you.
In his defense, no, I can still see it.
This is for research purposes only.
Research purposes only. I got
As
you.
is much at the show.
Yeah. I got you.
Research.
So,
Should be a valid excuse. Like, could you imagine like a 50s husband? Honey, I'm gonna be late with the guys. We got some product research to do tonight.
Product research, and it's like, what's the husband do? He works at like ad rep for a beer company. It's like, yeah, we gotta.
Do you have to test the product at the bowling alley?
he's got you got those. You've been watching a lot of old
Mad
50s
Men.
sitcoms.
I've been catching up on Don Draper. Yeah.
Honeymooners, a little bit of that going on there.
So,
It's a good. Actually, maybe that's my Halloween. Who are you? I'm Don Draper.
so what type of beer do we have tonight?
Can't see.
We have a white wine. So,
Oh, I thought we were just gonna sit here and talk.
well, we do that plenty, but
What are we doing here?
we're supposed to be
Why don't you go ahead?
rating some wine and beer. So,
Oh man, that would be great, wouldn't it?
yeah, we get to drink more.
He never tells us what's going on.
So we've got. It looks like we've got a hoppy beer. It looks like we've got a dark beer, and then it looks like we've got a white wine.
Whoa, that's a lot coming at me all real fast. Can we break this down a little bit?
So, do we want to do the white wine first?
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
That beer's dark. I didn't know what that thing was.
Tell me what you think. What you really, really think.
I think that Josh's beer, just out of kindness to the spirit
If that
of
one
the
is
season,
barrel aged,
should come last.
also is barrel aged.
And so maybe, Rob, get your corkscrew ready. It's time to open some wine.
Sounds good to me.
And then we'll have my beer, and then we'll drink Josh's beer. Because Josh's beer is actually something really fun.
I definitely remember this one.
And I don't want to
Here,
spoil
go
the
on,
surprise. Rob, do you want to be the one who tells them Santa's...
Not coming this year?
Santa's not coming.
Can you imagine all like the parents around the world, they go to have the speech because the boats are stuck in China or in Long Beach and whatever.
Oh man, I've
And
still
you
got to
get-
get niece
you
and
get
nephews
like 4 words
Christmas
into
gifts.
it. Santa's not... Where are you going? Coming this year.
Santa's
Like,
got.
we already knew that.
Yeah, Santa's suffering from some staffing shortages.
We had Mom buy us iPads at Thanksgiving. Well, I took a PlayStation 5. They finally had 2 in stock.
Sherry Stock says, "Lovely, get a buzz, guys." Well, hey, that happens every now and then on Monday nights.
Get the pad at Thanksgiving. What? $129. They're still in stock.
So,
I can still buy Christmas gifts.
the funny thing with the
All
PlayStation
holiday
5 is
season
like
long.
I had cash saved up, ready to buy one last year, and they just never made it to stores.
Sure you did.
I really did. I had like a
Everyone
legit.
did.
Except
for me.
I had.
I'm an idiot.
I literally had an envelope hidden on the bookshelf with cash that said PlayStation 5 on it.
Mine said truck and trailer.
Yeah.
And can I tell you something?
I
have a truck and a trailer. Where's
Yeah.
your PlayStation?
Well, they didn't make it to stores, so cash was
Do you
useless.
still have
So the wine we're trying
I didn't have
tonight,
mine at the store, so if it's any break.
the wine we're looking at tonight is the Druid's Fluid White. Now, remember last week we did the red version of this.
I thought last week we did the Coliano.
Oh, you're right. Didn't we do the Druid's Fluid Red a couple weeks ago then?
Why is he
Maybe.
so pushy? We know what happened. You don't have to come to us like we don't know what happened. Rob, it's possible you were on such a bender last weekend. You don't even remember what we did our show about. Coliano was not last week because we've had it on special for 2 weeks.
I know, and we need to change it.
It's true. Not enough people tried it.
I thought Coliano was last week.
Rob, can we get some wine down here? We have state.
This is supposed to be the spotlight this week.
We have.
Is it?
It is. It's supposed to be the spotlight this week.
Man, you learn new stuff every day.
That's why there's a case of it in
Didn't
there.
even cover it in staff meeting.
Man, what meeting?
We didn't get a chance to really have a staff
We
meeting
were
today.
pretty busy. It's true.
Yeah, we actually.
I just wanted to bring that up. We actually were pretty
Yeah.
busy.
This will eventually. I remember us talking about when we tasted this that it would be a
was
spotlight wine.
officially-
Yeah,
That
we
was-
have a case of it, so it's supposed to be the spotlight
I was
line.
okay with not being a worker on Monday.
And I do clearly remember tasting this one because I was a big fan of it. I'm
excited.
I'm gonna
I've
throw my
liked-
bias out there from the get go.
I've liked everything from the Bonnie Doon Druid Fluid collection so far.
But I don't think this is the Bonnie Doon.
What did I say? Bonnie?
Yeah, this is Troon Vineyards. Troon.
What did you
You
say?
got the last three letters right.
Why did it sound like it's Applegate Farms,
Yes.
Oregon?
Yes.
Why did it sound like Bonnie? Whatever when I said
Bonnie Doon's
Troon.
California, dude.
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure I was talking about Troon. There's a T on the cork
Yeah.
for Troon. Well, what are you guys talking about Bonnie Doon for?
Because you just said it.
Because you just said it.
Oh.
It's nobody Doon.
It's much easier to say Troon. I don't know why you're
Bonnie
still talking about
Bonnie Doon's
It's my buddy Troon, not Bonnie Doon.
Doon. What'd you
Come
think
on.
I said?
Bonnie Doon is the one with the
My boy
alien on
Troon
the.
over here.
The guy has his 30th high school reunion. Suddenly he's going deaf.
Bonnie Doon is the one with the alien on the Stelvin.
Yeah, they have a B on the cork.
There.
No,
Not
they
from
don't
Oregon.
have a cork. They have a Stelvin and they have an alien on the.
Dune is not from Oregon. I thought Dune was filmed in Oregon.
Oh my god.
We're going to go
So-
see that movie, and you may or may not be invited.
I am closer to Frank Herbert than the two of you ever will be. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, you've definitely been exposed to some spice.
yeah. Dune. Arrakis, desert planet,
Your eyes are glowing blue, buddy.
home of the spice melange.
You brought it up. Okay. Tell us more about your wine, Rob. Oregon.
So it's a white blend from Oregon, from Applegate Valley. I believe this is going to be a white Rhone blend.
I know there's Viognier in it.
Yes. And they do not on the back say what the blend is, but I believe you're right. I believe I remember Viognier.
This is the cool. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is the organic, regenerative
Did you
agriculture and winemaking.
Did you read all the pieces of the blend, or you just don't recall them all?
I don't. They don't list it.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually on
You know what? Somebody here takes notes.
Oh, there you go.
Who'd we taste this with?
Branson.
Marine 91.
It was Branson.
Oh, it's funny. I opened to a Willamette Pinot Gris. Just keep that in mind as we taste this.
Now, see, the funny thing is, on the back of this label, we caught this during the tasting. On the back of the label, they call it a naturally handcrafted red blend.
Hey, typos are a thing.
It's the back label. Huh. Interesting. So that's good.
Yeah, that's about as red as I've seen them.
Yeah.
I will say, I do clearly remember tasting this one. It's got some lovely... it's got some lovely lobster notes on the nose.
Now, this is all organic, all regenerative,
It
biodigesting.
does not actually smell like lobster.
Yeah, that would be Josh's dinner that hangs out in his beard.
Druid Fluid 2019 White Blend, Riesling, Viognier, and Malvasia.
There you go. See, Nick is taking notes on the notepad that Rob got him to
Forgot
take
the first
notes on.
half of that, kicking ass and taking notes.
There you go.
No, wait. If I'm kicking ass, you guys should be taking notes. This is so confusing. College really messed me up.
You just keep doing what you're doing.
Kicking notes and taking...
This is how Bart Simpsons ends up karateing books in half. He's hitting the books. kicking them hard.
Just beating the books, man. Ooh.
Oh, I remember the Malvasia was the surprise because normally Malvasia is red.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
so
a
it
really
is technically.
yeah, it's like the Malvasia Bianco or Blanco.
Yeah, it was a Malvasia.
Yeah, either way, little bit of like lemony, floral.
Gotta look to me has some malolactic going on. It's very Chardonnay-esque.
The Riesling is just there on the nose.
Yeah.
Do you get like that honey like that?
On the palate, the Viognier comes out to me a lot, but it's also because that's one white grape that I've drank a lot of Viognier.
I never.
It's one of my favorites.
Did I overlook the fact that
Probably.
Riesling Viognier is a popular Rhine blending style? Maybe especially in like some regions of France,
Southern France.
before, like the French
I mean,
Comté.
it doesn't surprise me at all to know that. I mean, you get like this kind of, to me, it always has this like super ripe appley kind of feel to it when you do it that way.
And that's
It does
another thing.
also have a mountainy quality.
Nick, you're the guy from that's the fluent Organder or whatever. Applegate Valley. Is it called?
I was an Oreganderer. Okay, just to be clear,
Is
on
it
that,
is it called
that means I
Applegate
lived in
Valley
Washington,
because?
across the river.
Okay, sorry,
Got a really good view of Oregon,
but
So you
you
gazed at Oregon.
gandered. Okay, gotcha.
but I still paid tax.
So Applegate Valley, is it named because of apples? Like there was a lot of apple orchards.
I think apple orchards is always going to be in the history of vineyards. Number one, it's a fruit that traveled very fast. Okay,
And one of the reasons I ask is because that's one of the characters, fruit characters I get.
I think in the settlement of America,
At least on the nose.
growing apple trees once you clear land was a familiar thing to many of the Western settlers, especially when you start talking about Applegate, because you're talking about the Oregon Trail folks, even those that were
Well, you had Johnny Appleseed, who was actually a real person,
John Chapman, yeah.
who was a Swedenborgian Christian, spreading the
Yes.
good gospel of Swedenborg along with apples.
But that which goes back to one of the original colonies of the United States that people often leave out, which was carved out of like Delaware and Maryland and this chunk of Pennsylvania. Basically, like Wilmington, Delaware area was the Swedish colony. But the Swedish colony's idea on what they possessed elsewhere in the land is a larger idea. I mean, go look at what Minnesota is and all that. There's a concept there. It's long forgotten. Hessian Army got rid of it, whatever.
But it is kind of crazy. Like, I didn't realize like
I think they call it Fredericksburg now.
I didn't realize like the undertones of the whole Johnny Appleseed story though. That was a really cool one when I dug into that. Either way, this is cool and it does taste kind
Ohio
of
River
apple-y.
Valley was kind of his stomping grounds. The Allegheny and the Ohio.
You're gonna leave us hanging on that?
What?
The Johnny Appleseed story?
Yeah. So Swedenborg was a Christian
All right.
philosopher.
So what do you think about this one? No, just
Years and years ago, very controversial.
I was gonna go more like the Michael Pollan route with the,
just
There, I forget what the
Poor
movie
Josh.
was recently that was like kind of a horror film that was based around Swedenborgian thought, where the family moves out. to
Edward
rural New York.
Scissorhands.
No, it's a family moves out to a farmhouse in rural New York, and like he gets a job. The dad gets a job as a professor at a local college.
He's talking about like a dark film noir version of the origins of John Chapman, Johnny Appleseed, Jorgen Schmorgen.
People died in the house, and the spirits are left around. It all goes back to actual Swedenborgianism, but it's an interesting rabbit hole to go
I
down.
always get the smorgasbord confused with Swedish Borganism. You know, it's just I'm on the fence.
If you have the spare time to go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole, it's a good one to go down.
Interesting.
This.
Is this is a different rabbit hole than one Nick went down
Would
earlier?
you describe it as a smorgasbord of spirituality?
A smorgasbord of Swedenborg. Oh God. I don't think I'll ever say that again for the rest of my life.
Let's hope not.
All
Hey,
right.
speaking of Sweden and other fish things, because you've been huge on these anchovies and pickled fish and
Always, yes.
and kimchi tonight. I don't know which smelled worse, your breath or when you open the jar.
Don't
of kimchi.
re-invoke the kimchi because
Will you
next thing you
be-
do is he's gonna fart.
Will you be converting over to like pickled like whitefish, like
Oh, wait till I bring the lutefisk.
like
in.
lutefisk this winter?
Yeah, that's lye. It's literally fish soaked in lye.
Can we don't call it pickling once we go to lye?
No, well, that's not. That ain't got nothing to do with pickling, buddy. That is a whole separate treatment process right there.
My question now: you treat it with lye. How do you actually jar it in the lye? How do I get it out?
I'm
How do I
pretty
eat
sure
it?
you like jar it in a weak lye solution, then you rinse it off really well, and then eat it. And it kind of just creates like a jellied whitefish.
Do we like ice fishing? Is that when we do this?
I'm not saying I like
We
lutefisk.
don't do this.
You would never go ice fishing with us?
We don't eat anything in
I've
lye.
been thinking about doing a little Northwoods winter.
Look.
Just to hardy up my
I'm
bones
just
a
gonna
little.
put it out there. Lutefisk is one of the ones I might draw the line at because I've had lye on me and in me in various ways, and I don't like it.
What are you in Fight Club?
Lye sucks.
We don't do lye.
I just broke rule 1.
I got a burn from lye on my ankle one time, and it took 3 months for it to heal. So that should not go in your body.
I mean, lye is strong enough, Rob. If you spilled it on your forearm, you'd come up with another personality in 5 seconds just to put it out.
That was
The only lying I'm doing is down. Lying down.
All right, so I'd like to talk about the wine, not the lye.
not gonna lie. I'd like to talk about the wine. Oh,
I tried that a minute ago. But Johnny Appleseed and all that stuff.
Jurgen
Bergensport.
Swedenborg, yes.
Smorgasbord.
I'm gonna get like hate mail about my religious intolerance, aren't I?
Yes. Yes, I can see it
And I
coming
was
in.
attempting to inform people about like historical elements while he was talking about coexistent historic elements. But I'm the loser there. I get you. Can we talk
I
about the
didn't
wine?
say you were intolerant. What's hilarious is we're talking about all this stuff, and
This
literally
is a very
says Druid's fluid
I
on
feel
the
like
bottle.
this is a very German style wine, and we're having a very German style conversation.
It honestly,
Well,
Apologetically so.
Druid's fluid. I mean, they're about as Jorgen Sporges Bergens whatever you can
I
get.
think it's
Do
more
you,
of
do you
a.
think he has a hot tub?
I think
Like
it'd
when he
be-
finishes making wine for the day, does he like?
Druid's fluid?
Yeah.
No,
Does he have
stop.
like a hot spring on
Stop.
property?
No, don't even. No.
I think it reminds me of more of a Gallic one, like the Gauls.
Yeah. He's very.
Well, Stonehenge is on the label.
I bet you know how the Druids got
Or
the
a
Vikings-
henge, let's put it that way. It's not
Oh,
necessarily
that.
Stonehenge.
Well, the Druids would be more Celtic,
Not to be totally.
which are kind of like a
when,
the result of Gauls and Saxons,
what's
right?
it called when you're going against time? You say like anarchic or whatever. It's a few words. all-
Anachronism.
Anachronism, yes. Not to be too anachronistic about it, but the first time the Druids chased off the Vikings, do you think they just told them about France? They were like, you should just
Go south a little bit.
just head south. It's not a problem.
It's like it just rains a lot up here. They don't have a whole lot to offer, but if you get out there,
Bunch
they
of
got
things
grapes.
down there.
They're like, but that's back towards the mainland. We just came from there. Have you not heard of Denmark? Oh, no, we heard of it.
Just
But
go
they-
south.
They've got
keep
cheese.
going south.
Yeah, they've got cheese.
We live on an island. There's only so deep we bury our treasure. In France, they bury it all the way down. So, I don't know. Probably the wine. That's probably what honestly took the Vikings to Normandy in the end of their era.
Go south. If you land and it's mountains, go right.
We all know they were just looking for Ireland and found England instead.
Why would they be looking for Ireland?
I don't think they were looking.
Because Ireland's green.
No, I think Ireland was happy to see them and said, "You should just go right back across that channel and knock those guys out. Just get them good. You want to know where to get them good? We could tell you. And by the way, when you get there, let my brother out, all right? And he'll fight with you."
And the Welsh were there the whole time, but nobody could understand what they were saying.
Well,
so.
now you know who fed the lion his food.
You want to talk about the wine, right?
So this is a really good conversation-inducing wine. I will say that.
Well, what it's not inducing is keeping people watching.
I didn't say stay and watch the whole thing. I said tune in. You know, if you want to come drink with us, I'm sitting.
Look,
here. I'm hanging with two of my friends drinking white wine.
We don't even have Lisa with us tonight.
She's a hanger in there too. You know, I don't know. With this wine, I get this underlying, like, there is the apple. There's this stony feel, though. There's just this rock outcropping kind of feel.
The mineralistic aspect does come through really nice.
Yeah, what I'm not getting that I kind of expected that I would get was like a peach or something like that. I'm not getting a lot of white stone fruit.
Yeah, I'm not getting like white peach or anything like that. Nectarine, maybe, like kind of like orangey, purpley.
Yeah. The whole like nectarine apricot kind of notion comes up.
But not peach.
Maybe apricot, actually. Think of more like an aged, like a... How come there isn't like a southern aged peach? Like, there's dried apple skins. You see apricots, you see... But how come there's no like peach prunes? How come people don't?
Because the peaches taste too good when they're ripe.
Yeah, so they're too good when they're fresh.
What the humans don't eat, the bees get. I don't know, dude. If you've ever sorted a peach table, I don't think we get to them all.
Yeah.
Well,
You should turn them into wine.
So, other uses. Yeah. Schnapps.
Peach schnapps. Solid choice.
I started schnapps with peppermint schnapps. I never wanted to drink them again after the second time drinking them.
so you haven't done your Schnapps World Tour yet?
I have not done the schnapps. But butterscotch schnapps brought me back into the world of schnapps. So
Butterscotch schnapps is evil.
We called this... I drank it at a fish show in the parking lot. This chick... I thought she had a shirt on. It was a painted tie-dye.
I love the way that sentence started. I thought she had a shirt on. It just brings to mind how you found out it wasn't a
Well, when
shirt.
she held the schnapps bottle up and I lowered my head down to drink it, I quickly realized this was not a shirt.
Why would you be drinking her shirt?
Listen, a lot goes on in a fish parking lot in southern Wisconsin, okay? Especially when you're like a freshman in high school. We got dropped off by our friend's mom. It was great.
Yeah.
Boys, I'll see you in like 6 hours.
How evil was
All right. I don't know if
Okay,
6
look.
is enough, but we'll try.
Was your friend's mom naive or evil?
No,
So-
she just knew she wanted to be the person picking her son up, which was a very good idea.
That is so malicious.
No, I
though.
watched
It's
her. I watched this woman get out of her station wagon. I was in the back of the station wagon. She was convinced that the Jeep behind us was way too close. When he threw his beer cans, they actually were hitting the bumper of the car. But I might have been egging him on a little bit, you know.
So
He backed up. And stopped throwing the beer cans.
yeah, because your mother's like, or your friend's burly, grizzly
Thank you,
mother
Mrs.
got
Kubiak.
out of the car. So
She was the first Little League mom I ever saw get thrown out of a game.
what
Okay.
about
Oh, wow.
food with this guy?
Cheese?
Cheese? Yeah, I can see cheese. I wouldn't say like
Pigs in a blanket?
I wouldn't say pig's a blanket.
Well, I don't know where
I
that
wouldn't
came
say
from.
like a sharp cheddar or anything, but I think like mildly soft, bloomy rind cheese, like maybe like brie, but not like creamy brie,
What's the
would be pretty cool. Like a semi, like not firm brie, but you know what I mean, right? Like
what's that stuff I got hooked on? The not the Canberra, but the things like brie, but not brie, not the roque.
Camembert.
the camembert.
Let's keep cracking this open. Do you
I
think
can't
this would
believe it's
go with-
camembert.
Do you think this would go with the Limburger?
Limburger? You know,
I'm trying to get to the cracked open
I
Limburger
could,
joke.
I could actually see it going with Limburger. The aroma of Limburger is a beast of its own to behold.
However,
But the flavor profile is surprisingly mild.
the aroma of this wine is not.
How about a pasta and white sauce?
Okay. So Josh, he's going
You're
redirection.
talking like creamy white.
Yeah,
Is that a
like
mushroom sauce? By
Or a
any chance?
pesto sauce.
I could go with.
I
like, a
think
creamy
pesto would be a
mushroom
really good call. Like the pignoli with the basil,
sauce. Would this go with our mushrooms and toast lunch?
mushrooms and toast. I'd say it would probably depend on the mushrooms and how you cook them down.
Josephine Ted
And which bread we put them on?
is watching.
Cool. Yeah. So I think cooking the mushrooms down would.
It's code word, dude. Obviously.
Yeah. Baguettes, obviously baguettes.
It's
That
gonna
aren't
take
burnt.
A lot of mushrooms.
Yeah, baguettes.
That aren't burnt.
No, because I don't burn baguettes, just scones.
Just that's what happened the other day when. I'm sorry.
That wasn't me the other day. That was me tonight.
Yeah, awesome.
Now, you said a mushroom is something. I think that, yeah, honestly,
Porcini.
some type of mixed mushroom
lighter
type,
wear.
not necessarily sauce,
I
but
honestly think oyster would be a cool,
oyster mushroom.
Okay.
because it's got that kind of like
Kinda
funky,
golden.
earthy,
They're a little bit golden, but they're.
a little bit golden. The
grow
texture,
almond
the
tree,
texture of
kinda.
them's a little bit squishy.
How about a
like
mixed
on-
wild mushroom, like
Oh,
Light
yeah,
saute.
let's call it like
I
a
think
fuel
porcini,
medley.
hen of the woods would be cool. A little bit of
man.
gnocchi.
Be nice to land a head of woods.
Yeah.
yeah,
Payday.
yeah.
Take that to bald head, huh? I should go mushroom hunting when I'm up in the Highlands. Huh? It's a little past season.
I'm
But-
not gonna lie. That actually sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
I think.
So, like if you
I
knew what
think
you were
if-
doing
if
to
you
go
guys
into the
had
wilderness.
followed through and done your mushroom seeding this year, and I think you still could. The way the humidities are going with our average temps, I think this year the fungus was insane everywhere.
I
Like,
don't
every
know
lawn
a
I
single
worked,
thing about
No
any
matter
of what
how
you
much
just said.
product we put on it, it was squirrel count must have been insane.
I don't know. I don't know how to grow mushrooms.
You let the mushrooms grow. You create conditions. I thought you guys went through this whole thing. You create the conditions in which the
We have
fungus
no
can
idea what you're talking about, Nick.
Yeah, nope. No
brewing
clue.
beer.
No idea about creating conditions for things to grow in. Absolutely not.
Nothing that anybody would be interested in, Nick.
Regardless, I do think a lot of really cool mushroom flavors would go well with this. I think this would be a fun one to pair food with. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I don't think you need food with it. I think it's a great sipping wine on its own.
I think, like I was getting at with the mushroom, I think like a lightly sauteed, but then you throw them on crostinis or
With grilled sausages.
You actually could chop up some sausage in with the mushroom medley. Yeah,
Shot me down on the Vienna the first time, but
I didn't hear the sausage part.
Honestly,
That's the first. That's actually the first time I heard the
let me
sausage, and I think
simplify
that's not a
this.
bad idea.
I want to roll a mushroom slice
but I mean,
in with a piece of like Swiss or Gruyere cheese inside the croissant while around the Vienna
Gruyere
sausage,
would be a
and
really
then we'll
good
just
call
bake
with
the
this.
whole tray, like 24 of them, and we'll bring them out with a bottle of these.
I don't know about Vienna sausage.
Okay, you pick out a little better thing than Armor.
No, I'm
sausages, and
actually thinking like a crumbled sausage.
Don't even.
You could
And
do.
then the cheese will melt consistently with it. We could do like a mushroom gravy with the crumbled sausage dressed.
If you
wrapped
did,
in
if you did
cheese.
like a little
You know,
puff
the sauce.
pastry,
Puff pastry.
cut the circle out of the middle, like with like a Gruyere and sausage crumble. Like, I'd say.
Can I use Nice's breakfast sausage?
I don't know that I
Quite
would.
possibly.
I don't know that I'd go Nice's. I would probably go like more traditional, like Italian style, with like a little bit. As
If-
much as I hate fennel seed,
If I did Nice's
Johnsonville
for
loose.
if I did
know.
Nice's for this type of thing, I'd do the sage.
What about country
I
time?
honestly think even, like the sage
And
would
I don't
be
mean
the
Jimmy
one
Dean
that I would
country
lean
time.
towards,
I
but
mean-
I think it might be a hair too salty, and I would lean more towards like a traditional like French or Italian crumbled like loose sausage with that heavy fennel and like herbage going on.
I thought that was the flavor of sausage to me. Like that fennel seed is so important.
And caraway sometimes.
Yeah.
But it really sausage is a very regional thing.
It is. It really is. And to the point of people outside of our area will probably
I
not
have
know
no
what
idea
Nice's
what
is.
Nice's is. And the thing is,
Really?
that's what sausage
Do you
tastes
know,
like.
when-
Do you know we used to be able to? I used to be. How I knew Nice's before I got here. That's in Ohio.
Yeah, it's
when-
like it's a whole thing, man.
Probably the Kroger.
Nice's has a
They
thing.
have the trucks, dude. They have the whole distribution
Yeah, but
network. It's
Nice's
like
has a thing.
I-75 will do that.
where they can't get the product from their plant to the store within 24 hours. They won't sell there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that exists in Columbus, Ohio, because you can get basically any food product from the 48 states.
You can't get it in Atlanta.
To Columbus in one day.
That's why when Kelly comes up here, she buys
Is
6
Nice's
blocks
based
at a
out of
time.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep.
What is it? Greensboro?
I forget exactly.
'Cause I feel like it's like Piedmont
It's
foothills area.
mid.
That little
state.
wax wrapper, it's so unique and so the cube instead of the tube.
Yep.
Right?
It's
All right,
all-
guys.
It's a whole thing. Because I mean, well, the nice thing about the cube versus the tube
It's
is
easier
that
to slice. I don't have to
you
squeeze.
can slice it, and like you're also probably gonna patty it out anyway.
It's
So
very
it's-
nice patted up.
Or if you're gonna crumble it up
Now-
for like biscuits and gravy. I mean,
Do you
it's
guys
like,
ever do breakfast burgers where you combine a little bit of sausage with, you do like a 50-50? You take some of that ground beef you didn't use with your tacos last night and you throw it together with some
when
sausage.
you're talking stuff like that, man,
Grill up
that
the
just makes
burgers.
me think of how I actually make meatloaf.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be at least 10%.
But I like burgers that have a little bit of the sausage and stuff. Like I may not be eating meat right now, but I
they
do
call
love a good
beef
burger.
loaf if it was strictly beef.
Eh.
Otherwise, it's meatloaf.
Yeah,
Like, you know, there's mothers out there who stretch their stuff by cropping up the old bologna.
dude. Me growing up, 90% of the meatloafs I ate were always beef. And
had
the
beef
meatloafs
bologna.
the meatloafs I grew up eating were not meatloaf like most people.
Which
know
is
meat.
interesting because I just gonna say this: you are distinctively like southeastern in your upbringing, and so your palate and what
Yeah.
you had, and you're telling me beef.
I am distinctively. My family were not Southern cooks or cooks really in general. So like a lot of what
Beef
I've
is
had.
easy to
Beef,
cook.
beef
That's-
was
I
beef
will
was our
admit.
meatloaf too at growing up.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like you
absolutely.
Didn't,
It was all ground beef. There was
Wait,
wasn't
see, the
sausage
thing is,
added.
like, I
Also,
grew up-
beef
I grew
grows
up
as you
with,
cook
like,
it. That's this thing that
Meatloaf was basically a square pan full of beef mixed with manwich
man.
and ketchup on top, and you bake it.
Is manwich Hormel?
Like there wasn't even breadcrumbs in my meatloaf, so it's just like
Or is that
variations
Kraft?
family to family.
I think manwich.
The
might be
first
crap.
time I
Let me tell-
had like a traditional French meatloaf, which was like in a bread pan with breadcrumbs and egg and
I
everything
did.
in it.
I did.
He was
A,
at
I'm
Kathy
like-
Yard's house.
I looked at it. I'm like, it wasn't at your house.
My
The first
mom's
time I
is
had
like,
it,
I
it's
hope you
like-
like ketchup.
I was like young. I think I was young and at a friend's house or something, and I think I made their mom mad. It's just like, heck is this? This is meatloaf.
well,
That is the beginning of you recognizing culture. That's
la-
what your
last
palate-
month I did a smoked meatloaf.
You should have seen my reaction
And-
to Bully the first time I had
I
it.
like
and
this
and,
wine.
and,
I'm
Ke-
just gonna
and
go
Kelly
with
was like, "How you doing a smoked meatloaf? It's got to be in a
I
pan."
think it's very German.
Like, no, it doesn't.
It really doesn't have.
That's my underlying vote on this wine. Is it's a very German wine.
I think this wine's awesome.
I think German's a good call on that. I really do. They say Southern France, but I think German is.
half of southern France borders Germany.
Sure. I mean, I think that's a good call because I think there's more German characteristics. I think it actually lends itself more towards a German palate.
It was. I feel like I insulted
Everything
a lot
we
of
said-
Europeans
Everything
probably.
we
with what
said-
I just said.
I think the only thing that makes it taste French, like food wise, would be like the sheer amount of butter I'd probably throw.
I
in
would
everything.
want like croissant-y butter, but that
flaky pastry dough.
As we find out, flaky pastry dough really is one of those Transalpine.
Yeah, we can go to German cooking and go all sorts of
but
stuff.
like-
at
I
that
feel
point,
like-
you're talking about how many times you folded it over is the dough. Which I'll tell you, making croissant dough from scratch, I don't want to do it again.
Yeah,
ever.
Is that the joke about any Vincent Van Gogh?
Have you ever made
haystack
puff pastry
painting?
dough?
There's actually
have you ever made pastry dough?
get into this. I happen to know that why we call it phyllo dough is because philo is the name for pages of the Bible, and so in the old Greek, that the leafy like pages were why we named. So there's, and you're not making phyllo dough until you have an entire book.
Yeah, phyllo dough is a different thing than puff pastry. It's a different thing than croissants. It's a different thing than streusel and strudel. Streusel is the topping. Strudel dough, like all of them are folded.
Streusel goes on the strudel.
All of them are folded a different number of times
Corner
with a
folds are
different
really
makeup of. Nah, that's not how you fold.
That's
What I'm
corner
talking
folds
about
are
is
real
like
nice.
folding and getting layers because
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to.
What are you making, samurai swords? You're baking pastries.
Pretty much.
You kind of
When,
are.
when it comes to croissant and
Sorry,
stuff,
I still
you're-
eat my cake with a plastic knife.
Brush it with butter, fold, roll. Brush it with butter, fold, roll. And then depending on the dough you're making, that changes the number of times you do that. It's not fun.
You do know I grew up with a lot of Pillsbury craft.
Yeah, popping the tubes doesn't count.
Yeah.
All right, so, hey,
the same thing.
Why don't we go ahead?
Wholesome
Why don't we go
singles.
ahead and move on to some beer?
Yeah,
I think that's a good call.
it's a really good call. Otherwise, our intern
We can keep going back
will
and
start
forth.
calling on us.
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah, and I gotta get some good sleep tonight.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're trying to get you drunk so you can get some good sleep.
Honestly, I would have opened with you tomorrow. The only problem is,
You close?
yeah, I willingly would have pulled a double. There's just a few things I got to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
One of them is sleep.
Yeah.
Big Gene just tuned in.
Hey,
Big
Gene, how you
Gene.
doing, man?
Big Gene.
Gene Morgan.
Gene. Gene.
Gene, yeah, like Doug Gene.
Like Gene.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gene.
Sweet, dude. You know what? I was thinking about a few things this week.
Just a few.
Yeah.
Knowing you, that's like a few every minute.
Music in the South, okay, was one of those topics I was thinking about.
He says, "Sup, guys."
What's up?
Up, Gene? Wolves. I was just randomly, because like every 10th thought
Wolves.
for Nick is just like a pack of wolves running around in the snow looking for
I don't know what you're.
cormorant. I don't know.
Wolves. Just wolves.
Just wolves.
Well, now, if you really want to dive into wolves in North Carolina, they did reintroduce the red wolf
Red wolf.
into eastern North Carolina, and it was a terrifying failure.
Uh,
Now, it was great for the population of red wolves, but devastating to the livestock in the area,
do you know why?
and has grown
fences
increasingly
exist?
difficult to monitor the population of.
Red wolves.
This is
also
kind of a really cool
breed
can.
with coyote.
Yeah.
It's kind of the difference between the gray wolf and. Well, there is a gray wolf coyote. We call that Iowa.
So this is Almanac Loud Hazy IPA.
You were getting loud. there.
sorry, I
You got
could-
really-
I-
what?
I was trying to.
What?
I couldn't hear you.
What? Sorry, this glass is just.
So Gene was laying low. He has a severe phobia of kimchi.
I agree. I agree.
Trust me, Gene. After being trapped in this room with Josh and no fan going,
It is not. It is
Gene.
not like that. It
I
is
know what-
really
I-
not.
I
Like
know
Not
what
anymore,
Josh's
thankfully.
problem is. Josh's problem is he has not had any decent wheat crackers with chow chow, proper chow chow. Okay.
I've had proper chow chow.
recently, and the other item he's been craving, clearly.
What?
Jesus, do I have to pull these teeth?
Because I have no idea where you're going. I bet it's something cheese related there.
It's pimento cheese.
Pimento cheese and chow chow. Great combination, especially with a decent cracker.
I
Absolutely.
didn't want to sound cliche, but I'm being very specific.
All right, so we tried to talk about the beer here.
Oh, we could. Let's give it a shot.
It's yours, right, Nick?
I don't own this beer. I just
No. This is the one you.
technically,
This is the
you
one.
bought it.
This is the one you picked. Is this not? Is this not the one?
from California?
Is this not the one you picked for the night? The Almanac Loud with the
Get loud in here.
psychedelic little labeling.
I think I did that. Yeah.
The
Actually, it's bringing
$4.25
back some
for a
memories.
pint.
I think the next time
I
somebody
think
asks me,
honestly, you should lower that price 5 cents.
what?
It says check bottom for date.
He just poured beer on the floor again.
I think the next time anybody ever asks me, like, "Hey, is that your beer?" It's like, "Oh, I don't technically own it. I just bought it."
That all right. Number one, let's use this scale. Actually, guys, I'm gonna rate this beer on the scale of a different.
This
can.
this is an 8% ABV.
Does this have slider values? Like it's a mixing board of flavor?
Well, it smells dank and hoppy.
I'm gonna use
Well,
the same.
it says
three.
dank,
I'm
tropical, and smooth.
I would like you also to rate this beer based on these 3 criteria. The Hazometer 1 to 10.
8.5.
I'm down around 6.5. Josh,
I'll give it around UTI level.
so that's a 7. Let's clean up infected pee. So averages out at UTI 7. Okay. Let's see. Juice factor. Is that a joke about the yeastal colonies that are growing next to the microbial?
It's a joke about every
And-
hazy beer ever.
And the cedars. Anyways, now you want they didn't mean cider, they meant cedar. Like it's a cedar.
Yes.
factor.
Okay, so
Juice factor. Do you get juice on it?
Only if the juice is being squeezed out of a pine cone.
It's like it's definitely North Florida oranges there.
Yeah.
it is like underripe orange juice. Would be-
Okay, I'll give it
All right,
underripe.
and
Yeah.
the final,
It's like if you were trying to extract the juice while using your bottom teeth to scrape the pith out of the rind.
You're using the pine cone to scrape the rind.
You're just
I watched a
scraping.
squirrel do that today. I think it ended up bleeding.
And,
How about dankness? What would you rate the dankness?
it's actually not
Dank-
as dank as it smells.
Dank, for me, I don't know. I think dank is going to be high.
I don't think it's as dank as it smells.
I think your palate may be affected by kimchi.
These guys. Some straight up connoisseurs.
I think it's juicier than it is dank. But I think it like smells dank and feels dank, but I don't think it tastes dank.
It's kind of a dumpster, like a New York City dumpster.
It's definitely a dumpster, like a dumpster fire.
I think it tastes kind of like if you refuse to.
We're
buy
not
your-
allowed to say San Francisco dumpster fire because we get in trouble with
It
a lot.
it tastes like if you refuse to harvest oranges because you felt like it hurt the tree, so you waited
Oh,
for them to fall
It
off
was
the tree.
inhumane to harvest oranges this year.
So you waited for them to fall off the tree and then ate them.
This should be the status of California. That's California's status quo. Almanac beers. Loud and hazy. Hey, when it's not raining, it's crazy.
So here,
Stay up in the bay.
question.
We be lazy.
Question. You just
Can't
made.
put out a fire.
All right, listen,
Can't break some leaves.
What are you talking? What are you saying?
The
dude.
antenna wire. What? I'm trying to be 880.
Yeah,
know?
you
I'm
no.
trying to give us the bass sound. Am I
No.
not doing it?
Just what? Have you been listening to Sublime or something?
Okay, so question.
Did you see my shirt?
Yeah.
Question.
I know where Kmart is too.
It's Target.
Question.
Actually, I got this from Pacific. No, it's from a ways. It's definitely from a ways.
It's like Junior Kmart.
I got like a rum bottle of souvenir in North
Question.
Carolina. What do you? You don't have to say question, Rob. You're allowed to actually just say your thought.
About to
If it's
ask.
worth the shit, we'll acknowledge it.
So, I'm confused. You kept...
Where's Almanac from?
It dawned on me that Almanac is... You kept saying from California. They're from California.
What?
Why is the
Oh,
West Coast IPA hazy?
You didn't notice I drank an Epic.
Because it's
North
a
Carolina.
hazy IPA.
I drank a Uinta. Okay.
A hazy IPA is a hazy IPA. It doesn't matter what coast it's from.
And look, they even advertise it as New England. I'm trying to say the cats.
That's a hazy IPA that doesn't taste like a New England.
The cat.
That doesn't taste like pineapple juice.
Like the Red Wolf, got out of the bag, interbred with some trans-mountainous species, and has proceeded on like the Visigoths to naval triumph.
So you're saying... So what you're saying is the California brewers have given in to peer pressure and said, okay, everybody wants hazy IPA. We're going to stop making West Coast IPA. We're going to do a hazy.
I'm pretty sure Nick just called an entire style of beer a barbarian.
Okay.
That would be my takeaway from that statement.
I thought Boston was a landlocked state.
Boston was a landlocked.
And comment of the year currently.
First
number
off,
one.
even if it were a state, Boston Harbor,
If they're landlocked, why are
Tea
they allowed
party.
to move everywhere?
Tea Party. They can't be
Your
landlocked with a
Boston
Tea Party.
accent is really...
Terrible.
It is pathetically funny, and I love it.
Terrible.
What are you,
I
from
love
Rye? You keep coming off with this. You know, he's a little more of a Southie. Like, let's hear his Boston accent. Everybody knows Nick's a Westie through and through.
Yeah, I'm going to park the car.
Inside joke there.
Well, about Harbour.
Yeah. How about them apples?
So didn't you have a tea party? and you're not landlocked?
Oh, well, yeah, up in Boston? Yeah. No, tea. Dumped it all in the harbor.
I can't do it anymore.
That's how the revolution begins.
Okay.
They dump the tea
So
in the harbor.
Dump the tea in the harbor. We go out for a cup of coffee.
I was thinking more. What if I did like? What if my Boston accent was more of like a Casey Affleck kind of effect? You know, I apologetically Boston. Okay, just hate the Celtics.
Who hates the Celtics? No one hates the Celtics.
Can't stand the Sox.
I can't. I tell you what, I can't watch them Yankees.
Don't make me cry. Brady moves south.
So
Yeah, Brady is a goat, though.
we're
Mother's gonna kill me.
we're talking
How bad are our Boston accents? Please let us know.
question.
Like
Ernie,
really,
looking at you.
on like a real note, because I feel like
Honestly,
they're
that
probably
was 2.5
pretty bad.
minutes dedicated to where are you, Ernie, on
Question.
that one. Are we running long here?
Okay, yeah, you should probably keep saying question because it does make me fun.
Actually, valid point. Doesn't matter how valid your question is. We'll never hear it if you don't say question first.
Why is a West Coast brewery making a New England hazy IPA?
Everyone wants to make hazies, dude. They sell.
They had.
I thought you understood our Boston
They
joke.
took so much pride in the fact that they were still doing West Coast.
Dude,
They had their own
Give me
freaking.
the can. All 5 kingdoms and the Dominicans.
Dude,
I hope you didn't just insult like
The Catholic Church.
anybody. everybody in the world entirely.
The entire world just offended
got
by one statement. No,
I
don't
didn't
think that's
do it. It was the beer itself. And look at its pomo. I think
It all boils down to the fact that hazy sells. You just put the word hazy on stuff. People are like, oh, I like hazies. So they're gonna buy it.
dank tropical smooth 8%.
I'm so disappointed.
I know we all like.
As much as I don't like IPAs, I'm even more disappointed in the fact
Rob,
that
I know.
Why are you
dude.
getting so
I know,
loud?
like, we just want to get back to being able to see through our beer. That's all it is.
I mean,
I sound just like a.
Yo,
I should be the last person
Yo.
to stand up for the fact of West Coast IPAs.
yo, that shit's loud.
I literally in this room, I should be the last person to stand up and say West Coast.
You're just tired of complaining about things that aren't worth
on.
complaining about.
You
know, like you.
Sacramento
I want to
or some
complain
shit.
about something that is complainable about. You know, like I want it to be just as bitter and hoppy as I remember them being when I
Have you
hated
been to
it.
San Francisco? Those guys are more bitter than a South Boston guy on a losing
Rob,
night.
you just want to properly hate IPAs again.
They're like out of work
That's my point.
programmers.
I
These
don't-
guys are
I don't
more
hate them,
snipey than a Dunkin'
but
Donuts.
I like them less than you guys, and I even
It looks like a Dunkin' Donuts.
You want to get back to that day and age where you just didn't like IPAs.
no. When I have a West Coast freaking IPA come in, I want it to be a West Coast IPA.
Rob, there's a part of the label you missed.
Well, that too.
Text Almanac to 833-782-0576.
Nope, not falling for this trap again.
Where's
Last
my
time I
phone?
did that, I ended up calling a winery.
Yep, and
And
left
he
a message,
answered.
and they didn't they reply the next
Hey
day.
man, I just got back from Hawaii.
I
What
don't
you guys
know.
need?
I wrote that out of my brain.
It's
But I did call a winery and leave them a very heartfelt message.
And
and
It
God
was
knows
a
when.
good it was a good message.
I don't know how late it was. I really don't.
Josh, call me an idiot.
It was 3 hours
That
less
label
for them.
Doesn't tell me where that beer's made.
It just had to be on a weekend is all.
Tell me if you can tell me where that beer's made based on that label. I gotta talk to the intern.
Oh, it says keep refrigerated, so I think it's made somewhere cold.
That's why I left it on the shelf.
So I think it's made somewhere cold. Oh my god. You guys are stupid.
Sometimes. Alameda, California.
All right, I can't believe I've got to chug this and it's a hazy.
I'm not a huge fan of this. It's probably not going to get the best review from me.
I'm sorry, Almanac. I'm going to lead in and say it's not going to get the best review from me because
Yeah, I've had a lot of really good Almanac
you
beers.
disappoint me.
Now, just to brighten things up while Nick is out of the room. Not specifically because Nick's out of the room. He's just out of the room, and I'm moving on.
Yes, please move on.
So, I here in my hands have a can of beer with a ridiculously buff Santa. So this is Rogue's Santa's Private Reserve, the Kringle Crusher.
We're going back to Oregon?
Yeah, we're going back to Oregon, buddy.
I was hoping so, because honestly, after the first half of the show, I was convinced that everyone's going to think we either hate Western Europe and Western United States. They're basically going to pinpoint us.
We're just a big fan of the Eastern Bloc.
They're gonna the Eastern U.S. block. Everything south of Maryland down to North Florida, east of Alabama is just okay.
Yeah, the Mississippi River is where I got to draw the line.
Hey, so let's
They
pour
call it
that
big
beer because
money
I
for a
need
reason.
more beer and wine around me that I have not
this
drunk
is,
yet.
This is an ale brewed with natural
I
vanilla
got
flavor.
this sour. I got that
In this episode,
freaking stout.
the
I
guys
got
film
this
Rob
wine.
getting drunk. It might be
aged
retribution.
on oak rum barrel chips. So
Oak
this
what
is
barrel?
Oak rum barrel.
Rum barrel chips. Well, who broke the rum barrel?
Now,
Judging
so-
by the label, Chris Kringle. Look at him.
Yeah, Kringle Crusher, dude. This label is one of the funniest things I've seen in my life. Like,
I like that.
every year,
Number
Rogue
one, this
does.
is a throwback style label. For me.
Dude, well, every year Rogue does the Santa's Private Reserve.
And
They
the
always
beer
do.
beer and the
And they always do like something crazy for it.
Santa and
Rogue is and will always be one of my favorite breweries of all time.
I'm
Just
pretty
from
sure- Here we
the
go.
sheer number of things. Like the Voodoo Donut beers.
I feel like this label was drawn in Voodoo Donuts at 3 a.m.
Dude,
Or they probably found it on like a
I don't know
bathroom
anything about
stall.
the actual Voodoo Donut shop.
You would love it. You would fit in.
I probably would love it. That's.
You'd be the one guy who's allowed to show up not on a bicycle.
I have a
You
good.
do realize they
Not
kick
on
you
a
out.
bicycle.
Oh no, you have no. You're not you can't.
I have a really good friend that I grew up with down here that she moved
Would you
out.
take the monorail?
No,
you don't get a donut.
She ended up moving out to Portland, and she's awesome.
16-ounce can, $4.75.
She spent
8.3% ABV.
Come out to Portland to see her, and I got to get out there because she's like, yeah, if you ever come out to Portland, you'll never go back. It's like, well, probably not.
Last time a girl said, "Can you come out to Portland?" I had to stay with my buddy in Portland for like a week in Southeast.
According to the Roast Star, it should be
The party got
very vanilla,
Centralia.
mostly malty, and a little bit oaky.
We even did some Seattle in that one. That was crazy. Got beers bought for me in the middle of Seattle.
So I know it's like vanilla and rummy, but it only smells minty.
Honestly, pick a fucking locale. She could tell me to meet there right now. I'd probably go.
When Santa caught Krampus stealing his beloved rum balls,
Krampus.
Now we know who broke the rum bottle.
he offered Krampus a choice.
So it's Krampus.
Either give them back or wrestle for them. Krampus, blinded by the allure of the delicious sweets, chose to face Santa in the ring. And a poor choice. As not even a full minute into the fight, Santa knocked Krampus down
Yeah, Santa.
and landed a devastating elbow drop. Krampus, writhing in pain, conceded the match, and I gotta remove the tag.
Whoa, I think you're talking about like why the West Coast is giving up the title.
And handed
Because
over
they-
their rum balls.
Yeah.
And handed over the rum balls. The
No,
elbow
West Coast
drop,
knocked the East Coast out.
forever known as the Kringle Crusher, and Santa's love for the confection are the inspiration for this year's Santa's Private Reserve.
That
Enjoy.
is legit just a stoned brewer.
Sam Squinch?
Coming with a
Sam Squinch is Santa, and he's a professional wrestler who eats donuts
Now,
and reads comic books.
Who's
rum,
Sam Squinch?
every time I take a whiff of this, the rum.
I feel like Rob is happy about
Comes
this
through
beer
more and
just
more.
because it looks like a comic book cover.
It smells like rum balls.
Rob, we need this on view.
I've already done it, dude.
Nah, it needs to be like on view while we taste. Is that not on view?
You know, the good thing about that view is it blocks your face.
No, it doesn't. I'm over here. They know where to find me. Not on Facebook.
I'm okay with it. You leave it right there.
I would like to, on the heels of your 30th graduating experience. I don't know how many times you've graduated since. Why is it that somebody calling from a computer bank in Pakistan can find me easier than anyone from my graduating class?
It's actually a really good question.
I agree.
Josh
in
is
fact-
thinking
in
about
fact-
this stuff. He's getting older. He just passed his tenure. Did they call you?
See, well, no. The best part
He
is
said
that,
no, cleanly.
Well, they probably did. They probably did, but I probably just ignored it.
I think probably the way people should go when they're putting together their reunion parties is contract out with a company from Pakistan, and you will get the most effect for
Probably somebody's trying to get me to show up to some sort of reunion. I've been hired by the nation of Pakistan.
Hello, we've been trying to call you about your car's extended warranty. No, I have nothing to say to you.
That's right. This is
by
not
the way,
Hello. We've been trying to call you about your.
South Brunswick.
We have been trying to call you about your class reunion from South
Call you
Brunswick.
about your 15th. 15th year
You
high
guys are
school
missing-
reunion. That's what?
You guys are missing the true value of this ad. Like, I would honestly. Here's what it would sound like when it doesn't work when they call her, does it? They would just pretty much be like, "Does Becky like Nicholas? Press 1 for no, 1 for 2."
Oh God.
So anyway, let's get back to the beer here.
So this smells like rum balls.
It does.
Like it smells legitimately like somebody made rum balls.
And the stout has a very vanilla palate to it. Malty vanilla.
I feel like this is the most tannic thing we drank tonight. Like,
I'm not getting much tannin.
really, I can taste the wood balls
Well,
whatever the label.
The
called.
bitterness. So I see what you're saying.
Pringles
I don't
wood
know
balls.
that I would call it tannic. Do I think it might be tannins from the wood coming through? Yes, but I don't know that I would label it tannic.
Okay, yeah, sure. Describe the essence, and then we'll get to the source.
I think it tastes like a rum barrel. Like,
Pretty
'cause
much.
Now, here, the funny thing about this. So when I worked at Check Six, I would.
Where? We don't do that place.
Well,
Who?
Check Six doesn't exist
Who?
anymore.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That,
You mean Med
work,
first?
You both worked at Check Six. Never mind.
Yeah. Right? No, I never did
No,
actually.
you never did.
Oh, Check
I
Six.
drank
Check,
But,
it.
check Six.
Check 6. So you might
I did-
construe what I did as
I
working.
did do
Actually,
cask scales.
You know what?
I did do cask scales for a
You
bit
put your
there.
time in there.
Never got paid by them. I definitely was a payee.
But we would do.
No, payor.
Yeah,
Which
we would
is it?
do. We would do some cask scales there from time to time, and there were a couple ones
Put
where
in some work though. You know.
Hey, there's Lisa. She finally joined in.
I took our vanilla porter and I took rum chips, or I took wood chips, and I took a ridiculous amount of rum, and I soaked the wood chips in a ridiculous amount of rum
Yes.
for a very long period of time.
Technically legal.
Technically legal. What you don't account for is how sweet rum is.
Very sweet, depending upon which, but it's
Yeah,
derived
well,
from
that
sugar.
residual sugar.
Primarily.
Apparently, the yeast really liked it, and that was probably the most.
Has
fun
anyone
thing.
made stevia rum yet?
I've never made
So
a mess like that. In my life.
Lisa didn't join us earlier because she was napping.
Sorry to wake you up, Lisa.
Yeah,
However,
yeah. Sorry. Our
good morning.
weekly
Lisa.
show at every week at
I'm
8:30.
gonna diverge from like
Do you need a breakfast sandwich?
their Debbie Downer pitches and say like I hope you had a
Cup
great
of
nap.
tea.
Like napping is nice from time to time, and
How
I
about
hope
a
you had a
beer?
genuinely good nap.
You know what? Napping is definitely good. I went to Bambino's
Who wakes up,
for wait,
turns on their stuff, throws their headphones on. It's like,
I'm gonna
guys,
watch
don't
these.
Wake my partner.
I'm gonna watch
watching.
these crazy people. So I went to Bambino's for dinner this afternoon.
Love the place. Love
Yep.
the crust.
So I got
I love that. Place.
so I got there at
Really good
3:30,
crust.
right? Got there at 3:30, right?
Yeah.
Went to the door.
Did you get a slice?
They don't open till 4.
Nope.
What I do? Was I gonna leave? No, I was in the mood for Bambino's.
You took a nap.
I went back to the car and took a half-hour power nap.
And you woke up, you're like,
I thought-
I've never wanted pizza more in my life.
I thought
walked
this
up-
was an advertisement.
I walked
for
up.
being-
I walked up to Bambino's door at 4:01. They hadn't even turned the lights on yet. I was in there. She's like,
Do you work here? I'm just like ready to
no,
go.
she-
Rob,
looked
you
at-
are the second person beyond my grandmother who wanted to go to Provisions at 3:30.
She looked at me. She's like, welcome. I said, yeah, I'm hungry. She says, okay, let me turn the lights on.
yeah.
And she says,
Good.
she says,
Good. I like these words. This
she
is
says,
good.
are you
Great.
eating here or to go? I said,
Uh-huh.
here. She
Kind of
says,
shaky. Yeah.
sit wherever you want. And
Yes. Did you get a booth by the window?
not by the window, by the back wall.
Close to the
It's
kitchen.
Bambino's. It's an Italian place. You gotta get to the back wall.
I've been.
You gotta keep your back to the wall.
Where if you're Rob and I just sit at a table in the middle and order a ridiculous amount of food until you just want to go to sleep.
I'm starting to get this. Rob gets any table he wants wherever he shows up. There's literally a family of 7 just got told to get the heck up because Rob wants a pizza.
Well, you know.
Sorry, son, you're not eating your fried shrimp and chicken strips fast enough. Rob needs to eat a pizza.
No. Rob's more apt to be the guy that his clock on his wristwatch is like 5 minutes fast, and he's banging on the door, wondering why the hell the place ain't open.
Look, if Rob shows
No,
up,
like I said, I got there at 4:01
all it takes is he shows up to 7 places.
because it was 4 o'clock when I got out of my car. It took me a full minute to get to the
You
door.
open at 5.
If Rob
It's
plus 4
5:04.
minutes to get out of your car. If
No,
Rob shows up to 6 places with his watch set 5 minutes early, that's 30 minutes of napping plus 4 minutes to the door, 35 minutes. Rob's actually taking back time, going back in time.
Let me tell you something.
That's some Michael J. Fox.
I led the way because when I sat down, the phone rang twice. 2 other couples walked in. I was just the forerunner of that.
you
one.
fall
You know
asleep?
what's
This is
also-
why you didn't get a booth.
You know what's
Oh,
also
I did
really
get this.
exciting?
They'd have had to wake you up to wash
I-
dishes.
I-
Figuring out how quick and how efficiently to drink beer before a movie.
I've seen that.
It depends. Listen, Dollar Theater, you can just bring it with you. There's no sense in chugging it up front.
The problem with the modern movie theaters and the beer with me is I've got to balance out the beer versus
Piss.
pee ratio.
What is this? What's up with a 2.5 hour Marvel movie? How do I drink beer and pee? And so, do I need to know how big
Wait
my
t-
bladder is? Watch that part online.
Wait till the
ahead of
movie-
time. So when I go to the bathroom, I'm like, I hit it. I'm like, all right, watch this part. I gotta go pee. Get another pint. I'll be right back, guys.
No, you
Excuse
just
me.
make
Excuse me.
sure you order a beer that is the same texture
Size
and color.
That's why you get the big
Has
cup.
your pee.
Now you know what the 32-ounce beer is about. It's not about your appetite. It's about the size of
okay,
that
So-
cup.
I will say, if I'd had the option of buying a quart of beer yesterday, I would have done that.
So here's the problem I have is
cannot
I have
pee
my
in a
I have my
Skittles bag, by the way.
I have my
don't know if
my
you've
movie
ever-
I have my movie bladder trained. I got it's ready for a small Coke
And they sell boxed candy. There's
and either
there's
a
no health
box
there.
of candy or a small popcorn. And then I get told the medium is like $3 less than the small
Oh god!
because the medium is the employee discount. And then the small and it's like, okay, give me. And then the movie is like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, so finding out about the weird drink and popcorn special randomly on a day you didn't expect, and oh well, you could get the small or you could do this. It's well obviously we're gonna do this.
Well,
But it's
not
not- it's
oh,
Now
as
I've
much
got
as
to
you want.
mentally
Don't-
retrain my bladder immediately.
Don't you guys try to trick me into
Also,
picking
I
on
figured out that movie theaters
the kids
limit your
working
beer
behind.
like
And I don't know
most
why I
food.
call them kids. Because have you looked at anybody working anywhere? They are not children. Okay, number one. Oh, everybody's telling me the kids don't want to work. It has nothing to do with the kids.
At the
We're
movie
talking
theater,
about
they
the
were all
entire
teenagers except for the
workforce.
managers.
This is not about.
Yeah. Well, it's I ordered my second beer.
I just
and
don't
then,
know why everybody thinks it's always the kids behind the confectionery
The-
counter
well,
at the
well,
movie theater. I'm
like,
just
so-
trying to get over some stereotypes.
I
that's
drank the first beer.
all. Stamped out. Good. We got through it. That's what beer's for. Hooray.
I drank the first beer and said, I got 6 minutes. I'm going to go get another beer before the movie. Because we got there here early,
I feel like the pride of Newport is just setting us free right now. This beer is doing what it should.
Oh, it is. I will say, though, long story short, you can have 3 beers in the movie.
In that case, can
They mark 'em
can
down
all
and
three
they-
of them
they-
be this beer?
They mark them down and they cut you off because you don't need more than
It
2
turns
beers
out
to
after
see.
4 beers, people start yelling at the movie screen.
Lisa
Where
just,
the fuck's the bathroom?
Lisa just made the most erroneous comment I think I've ever heard. No, not most erroneous comment, but one of the most erroneous comments I've ever heard her make. You don't have to drink it all.
I think she thinks we're drunk.
You don't have to drink it all?
You don't have to drink it all.
Are you talking about...
That is just so
No,
erroneous.
No, I don't know that that's erroneous. It really depends on what
You
you're
know,
talking
the title
about.
of the show is "What are you drinking now?" Not how much are you drinking now.
All right. That's a good question. So why don't we get through the ratings because we are way long right now.
Are we? Because it feels like we're way long.
We are.
Ever since
So the
Earth?
first thing we had was the Druid's Fluid White Blend.
kind of remember.
I can't really pick up the bottle because there's a can perched precariously on it.
Oh, the label's backwards. Rob liked the back label because it says it's red wine.
It actually does.
It was a cool wine.
Applegate
Valley.
Oregon. It's just beautiful. I like the whole Druid Fluid scheme. Here's what I love about this. This tastes like everybody should be blending Riesling into Viognier and calling it, I don't know, some kind of white wine.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call at 9:45.
Speaker
Hello?
Speaker that one.
Oh no, it's
It's junk. They want to know about your car warranty.
You really should talk to them about your car's extended warranty, Rob.
all right.
That is a awesome deal, and everyone who gets those calls, you should really listen to them.
We're gonna do this.
You're not even going to talk to the same person. Do not say the word yes. Always move forward.
Wait a minute. This is. I'm gonna call this back because this is hilarious.
Speaker to the microphone.
Hello, you have reached the HHB Elementary After Hours voicemail. Please leave us a message with your student's name and your phone
HHB
number.
Elementary?
Call back the next business
She
day.
totally mumbled the part about what school it actually is. But there, hold on.
Lowell, North Carolina.
Who thinks
Lowell.
If anybody watching the show is at the HHB Elementary School in Lowell, North Carolina, and somehow has my phone number,
Impressive, honestly.
impressive. And go ahead and hit us up on
Rob,
the.
are you supposed to clear ditch day for someone tomorrow? Like that pretty much sounded like that.
Also, where is Lowell?
It's up towards the.
Anyway, back to the wine.
It's up by the what's the Furnace City or whatever? Cherry Furnace City.
So I think Nick was starting to rate his wine, but do you want to continue?
1.63.
All right,
1.63.
163. You or me?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a solid 165. It's tasty. It's easy drinking. What was the price point on it? 19?
19.
Yeah, for that price point, I'm a huge fan of Viognier anyway. Like, if it's ever present in a wine.
Ever present.
It's just one of my favorite flavors. So
Very good.
it's going to get high up there. So
get you
165 for me. It also got us talking, and it was a good one to start off with. It's a good social one.
So for me, the wine comes in with a little bit of apricot, especially now that it's sat for a little bit. The apricot is opening up. The mallow is still there. It is very creamy, almost Chardonnay creamy. However, it has that Viognier and it has that Riesling that pulls it back from that. I was actually going to rate this lower, but then I started thinking about what you guys were rating it, and I'm not opposed to 1.5 on this.
Okay.
So 1.5, a 1.63, and a 1.65.
I think it's safe to just rate it 1.6.
Do we just
think-
average out 1.6?
I think 1.6 is good.
All right. Fair.
Just above 1.5.
Fair. Very fair.
Cool.
Okay,
Well,
beer.
hey, Lisa, you might like this one. It is going to be the Spotlight wine, so just when you come in, ask to sample a Spotlight wine this week, and you can try it.
We'll get you taken care of.
Straight out of the red hot mudslide that is California, the Almanac gave to us tonight. A
Where's
hazy double
the
IPA.
can so we can show it?
The loud and hazy. I just wanted it to look like it was cold.
Okay.
Of course, nothing in California is cool right now.
Almanac Loud Hazy IPA. Gotcha. Go for it, Nick.
Oh, that's a multi-layered comment.
I wanted to love this. Admittedly, I kind of liked it. And so that leaves me at a 1.5.
No, Lisa, I'm not going to send that bottle of wine to you. Come to us. 1.5 on Nick.
It's an interesting transition. Yeah, 1.5.
I was just replying to
I
her
double-
comment on the wine.
I'll double down on that. 1.5 on Nick.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't the hugest fan of this. Would you like to go before me, Rob?
No, I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 0.9.
Not even a 1.
Nope. Because I did not like it.
Did I say
Like-
0.5 or 1.5?
You said 1.5.
I think I said 1 and then just kept mumbling 0.5.
Yeah, we're hearing you with the 1.5 there, Nick.
Yeah. I didn't. That's not, dude. Almanac's made some really good beers,
It's not
and
their best.
I'm not saying that this is a bad beer by any stretch or like means. I just don't like it, and I think Almanac's done way better stuff. So I'm gonna give it a 0.9, which is still not the worst rating I could give it. I'm not gonna actively pick this one up off the shelf a lot for myself. What's the price point on this one?
I think he went up
$4.25.
0.0.
$4.25, a little high for me, but if you like hazies, you're gonna like it. I also did publicly declare earlier tonight that I'm completely over hazy IPAs. I don't want them in my life anymore.
They continue to show up on our shelf.
Yep.
Yes, I don't want them in my life, but they keep showing up.
Don't blame me. That's what's out there.
Yeah, I'm not blaming Rob because they just keep showing
I
up.
like a West Coast IPA. I thought I would like.
All right, so
I was over
A
new
West
metal.
Coast
I was
IPA.
over new metal by like 2008, but it kept showing up.
Josh gave it a 0.9. Here's the thing. I'm gonna start and build from there. I'm gonna start with a 0.5 for the can. No, wait a minute. I'm gonna start with a 1 for the can
Is that a tangram?
because I really thought the can looked cool.
Cangram.
I mean, yeah, it's
somebody
got
was
it's
in
got the
advance,
whole
man.
loud thing all I think that looks cool. 425 doesn't hurt me that much, but I am going to deduct a little bit, so go down to 0.95.
Bring her down.
Here's where it's hitting me.
Are you punching down?
I'm punching down because here's what's hitting me. This is a West Coast brewery, and they have been holding firm to the West Coast IPA for so long. Almanac finally gave up. They finally gave up and went with the pack.
Rob's pulling at me,
Dude,
Rob,
I
Rob
wonder
is straight
if
up
you,
pulling at me.
If you looked up inventory right now from this distributor on their page and you looked at active inventory, I bet we would see a glut. There would just be a pile of this beer that is a mess that California has sent. Here's what I want to know. Why is it easier for us in North Carolina to get California's imitation, to get Western North Carolina's imitation, to get Oregon's imitation, to get Utah's imitation of a New England IPA? What?
Because
to
all-
get an actual New
Oh,
England.
I have the answer for you on that one.
I mean, I'm telling you,
The actual New England IPAs, the ones that all of these are based off of, that I have been honestly blessed enough to have countless times, and I honestly wish I could have shared them with you at the moments in time I had them. Those breweries
different.
are not big enough to distribute,
Yeah.
and that stuff is in such a limited
This
capacity.
is what Ernie meant.
It's
by
stupid.
they
Like,
stand in line.
it's just one of those things.
so here's the thing.
These guys are imitating something that's available on such a small scale.
Here's the thing.
Schmo.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like
I wanted to get at that. I did because our jokes about the kingdoms.
I feel like
play
this
into that.
brewery made this beer possibly because they couldn't get outside
Beltway?
their region. However, they shipped it across the country, and we ended up getting it. So this is a poor imitation of a New England IPA. And Almanac, please stick to your West Coast IPAs.
Now, my honest question.
I'm coming down from 0.95 to
He's going
0.6.
lower. He's going real low.
I'm
0.6.
Okay.
Striking low.
Because Almanac, you should have stuck to your guns and stuck with the West Coast. I wanted the filtered version of an IPA, not this unfiltered stuff. and not this pushed on orange peel, thing that you're doing.
No appeal.
I want a West Coast IPA from you. I don't want to get a trial and error New England IPA from the West Coast. I'm sorry, Almanac.
Before
0.6.
Before we move on to Rogue, you guys have you guys had like a proper New England IPA? Like we're talking Alchemist or Lawson's or anything like that.
At one
think
point
I've had
in time, but ever since I moved down here, no.
Okay, so long time. Have you had like?
I think you actually shared one or two with me.
I think I might have had. I think. Yeah, you did come over that night.
We did have a Pliny.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna make some calls. Maybe call in a favor or two.
Also, we did get that main.
We may
brew
have to
cup.
have. We may have to have a night on the show where we actually taste some New England IPAs that we can't honestly serve you guys who are watching, because like if I bring the beers we're talking about in, like they just don't sell them down here.
I understand that.
But
even
I think it'd be cool for us to actually revisit what an actual New
even
England IPA
even the
is.
fact that we're getting what's called a New England IPA from the East Coast in the Northeast down to, I mean, we get Dogfish Head and they're New England IPA. Yeah, they're
Listen, guys, you don't need to preach to the
If you
choir. I
sip on
spent
like
2.5 years getting yelled at you guys about I'm an IPA lover, and all it keeps showing up with is hazy, quote unquote, New England IPAs, and I don't even. This is not what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah. Well, you're a West Coast IPA
I
guy
love
anyway.
a nice clear beer.
Well, and that's why I thought your rating would have been closer to my rating.
I wanted
just
to
kind of
dog it.
adapt
I wanted to dog
at this
it.
point.
But they're doing a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, but I do think it'd be cool for us to actually track down some legitimate.
Let's go ahead and move on to the last
by the way,
beer.
Can I point out that the Epic Brewing has the triangles on their beer exactly the same way that. So I'd like to know what New Hampshire beer has the triangles that these two are imitating.
I think it's more about what King Solomon said years ago about there's nothing new under the sun.
I think this is less about triangles, more about reflective.
I'm starting to see it. Stylistically, these two cans are almost the same.
Okay, so let's go to the last beer.
Some Satinus Private Reserve.
I like Santa. I know I may have said otherwise in other times, but I'm really a big fan of Santa. Rogue Brewery.
Let me get the can and I'll show it while you're talking about it.
This is one of the funny things is New England sells out, the West Coast buys it, but there's certain things on the West Coast that can never sell out. And I feel like Rogue Brewery is kind of one of them. Like, there's been some sellout products, but like altogether,
They're the opposite of sellout. They grow their own hops. They grow their own malt. They have like a malt roaster that they use and killing their own malts.
So they continually innovate with the industry.
They legitimately
And they're
do
stubborn.
everything their own way. It's one of the reasons why I consider them heroic.
It's been that
the
way
beer
since the beginning, too.
Yeah, their mindset has always been on point.
And so it's funny how the mindsets that people said were off kilter, I don't know, what's a word for keeping it going?
Linear. No, not
Non-perpetual?
Nah, dude, there's sustainability. And anything in Oregon that we talk about needs to include that concept, sustainability. Because that's really what they're talking about with organic movement, with this and that. Rob, you wanted to know, did apple trees have a taste? Yes, because there was a time when every tree in that valley was cut down. And the only tree that grew was the apple tree off the seeds that they brought with them. And they sheltered enough land to protect the creek to grow a vineyard later in time. That vineyard empowered them to reopen forestry. The story is incredible.
the vineyard or the orchard.
And don't rule Rogue Brewery out of that story. Because the role they played in the ability of Tillamook cheese to be, a brand that got saved on the West Coast to becoming a national brand, well, I got news for you guys. That goes right through the middle of Rogue Brewery. Like, that whole story. The rest of it does too. Voodoo Donuts, and now there's multiple Voodoo Donuts. There are things that people realize on these coasts and these far reaches of our states that are all about geographic adaptation, that are cultural, down to the finest. And when they brew there and make their wine, we should prize that. And if they call it New England and it's from New England, we should definitely appreciate that. And the things that Oregon does that are so very Oregon, like, what do we even call it? The beer has 9 words.
Santa's Private Reserve Kringle Crush 2021.
We should be proud of Rogue for putting out a product like that.
All right, what's your rating on it?
I'm going to give it a 1.7. Honestly, I really liked it. I feel like come Christmas time and one of these shows up in my stocking, I'm still going to like it. Thank you, Josh.
Getting cold, dude. You ain't getting out of the stocking. Josh?
He's going to give us a Krampus version.
No, actually, not really. I really like this beer. As I've clearly stated on the show.
Look, we outstayed Gene. He's got to run.
Sorry,
Good night.
Gene.
Take care, Gene.
Love your kittens.
Have a good one. I really like this. I've got to say, I'm going to give it a 1.8.
Yeah, that's pretty high up. See what's happening here?
The rum is not too heavy on it. It's everything it says it is. It's a lot of vanilla flavor, a lot of rum. I'm a big fan of their Santa's Private Reserve. Every year they come out with it. This one's no different. It's the 2021 version. I think the can's hilarious. The artwork is awesome. The story behind it is amazing.
Is this a predecessor to the Santa's Private?
There's no predecessor.
This is the Santa's Private
This
Reserve.
is a continuation of Santa's Private
This is
Reserve.
this year's Santa's
This is
Private
all
Reserve.
like what happened with 2020, 2021.
I don't know how many years they've been doing Santa's Private Reserve.
It's a different name each year, but
We
this
should
is
totally reread that. I think I understand what happened now.
okay. We can do that off
There
air.
might have been a Krampus one last year, and now Chris Kringle's up and like crushing the one from last year. You don't know.
Yes. Crushed his barrels.
It's just the concept behind that's awesome. You know, like everything about Rogue is good. I like the beer. It tastes great. It goes down smooth. It's everything's advertised. 1.8. The only thing that would have turned it into a 2 for me is if it was a little bit thicker, a little bit boozier, and a little bit more rum.
All right.
Little more.
So
That's all
I'm
I'm
gonna-
Because if you're gonna label something Private Reserve, then make it feel super special.
I'm gonna agree with you on everything except for the little boozier part. I thought it was perfect.
He didn't say boozy. He said rum.
No.
I did specifically say boozy.
He said he would have liked it for it to have been a little boozier.
Now you
To-
know
to
why
get
I'm
the
not
2.
a traffic cop.
So my thing on it is I think it had the perfect booziness. It did have a little bit. It's an 8.3. Yeah. We're not looking at a 10, 12 or whatever ABV. I don't think it needs to be any boozier. I think it had all the great flavors there. It had the vanilla. It was, I won't say super malty, but it was very malty.
Oh,
It was a stout. Didn't have the big coffee stout to it, but you don't always need that in a stout. I mean, I thought it really stands out right now.
Stands out like a stout.
it was really good.
I mean,
Got the clout.
as far as the seasonal stout, and yes, this is going to be
There's
the
no
first
doubt.
of the Christmas stouts coming out. I'm right there with you. 1.8. It's
It's
solid.
good. It's good.
It's solid.
So
And that's what I'm saying. Like 1.8's a high rating. Like
that's basically a 1.8 average.
if they
out.
made this
Yeah.
an imperial stout, and that's what I'm saying. If they had made the thickness and like the flavor of it just thicker to compensate for the added booze,
Yeah.
I'd give it a 2 in a heartbeat.
But
I think if
it's
they
not
would have
even a
gone if they would have
$5.
gone higher booze on it though, it would have or gone imperial. I think it would have like
That's why I'm saying they had to compensate.
It would
Final
have taken
question.
the balance off.
Is this a stocking stuffer? Like, could I buy this
I
now?
don't know that I would do
You
this.
can
as
put it in
stock.
my stocking, but I'm not putting it in yours.
That's interesting. He says it that way.
Oh, no. Stocking stuffers for me are scratch offs. If you smoke, I'll buy you a pack of smokes, and then
Don't do that in my family.
maybe some mini bottles.
All right, guys. So that's going to take us to the end of the episode. We are running very long tonight. We're probably about 20 minutes long tonight. So I'm going to say, Josh, you have something to say?
Josh says.
Yeah, if y'all are checking us out on YouTube and not watching us live on Facebook, which
I'm sorry.
obviously at this
You're
point, if you made it
idiot.
this far in the
You
show,
didn't comment.
just remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Try to like it.
And then if you can send us all of the things, preferably peach cookies.
Ooh, peach cookies.
I don't.
Interesting.
Yes.
They sound great. I don't.
Yeah. If you can make sure they're coated with almonds as well.
That would be two things that Nick can absolutely
Actually-
not have.
Here's just so we can rub it in Josh's.
But,
face.
Josh and I can eat the frick
If,
out of them.
actually, if they're served in, if they're coated with an egg glaze and in puff pastry.
Also, since we discussed meatloaf tonight, Rob and I are interested to know about your meatloaf recipe. We know a vegetarian friend who'd like to watch us eat meatloaf. So
I was wondering where you're going with that. But before I argued with that, I was wondering where you're going with that. I like where you went with that.
Oh man, and that's so cool because I know like a great vegetarian dude that'd love to just like forget about the sardine loaf underneath their chairs.
So, anyways,
who keeps
we're gonna get over this quasi-vegetarian fight, and we're just gonna wrap it up tonight.
some
Again,
seaweed.
if you watch us on Facebook, like, comment, and subscribe below.
Yes.
And if
absolutely,
you-
please do.
Which we know,
Sure.
like, I think only one person stuck it out to the end. Good night, Lisa.
I'm gonna dump all my seaweed in the back of the toilet, and you're gonna try and figure out what that fishy smell is.
Did he
No.
say?
Not my not my store. Anyway, good night, everybody. You have a nice one.
Wow, Mr. Pickles, you may or may not be able to say that.